Hi everyone, Assalamualaikum and a very good day to all. Welcome to POSTLAB channel of ChemPP. For the chemistry DK024 post-lab activities for the experiment for aldehydes and ketones. For topic for this experiment is aldehydes and ketones. The objective to this experiment is to identify the carbonyl functional group in aldehyde and ketones. For procedure, as given in a module, based on this experiment aldehydes and ketones, we are about to have 5 tests to be carried out. First one is Brady's test. Second is Fehling test. The third one is Tolan test. The fourth one is Schiff's test. And the fifth one is iodoform test. And here is the results for this experiment. We do have 4 organic compounds, which is ethanol, benzaldehyde, propanol, and compound X. For the first test, part A, which is Brady's test, as known as 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine, all these compounds of ethanol, benzaldehyde, and propanol will show us orange precipitate. For part B test, which is Fehling's solution, there is a brick red precipitate for the ethanol, while no brick red precipitate for benzaldehyde and propanol. For part C test, which is Tolan's reagent test, the ethanol compound will show a result of metallic silver precipitate or a silver mirror. For benzaldehyde compound, there is a gray precipitate, and for propanol, there is no precipitate at all. For part D, test of Schiff's reagent, ethanol and benzaldehyde will show a pinkish purple solution formed, while the propanol there is no pinkish purple solution formed. And the part E test, which is iodoform test, the light yellow precipitate will formed for the ethanol and propanol compound, but benzaldehyde there is no light yellow precipitate. All the students need to obtain their result for the compound X. Now have a look for this observation. The different color shows that positive result for Brady's test is orange precipitate. For the failing test, there is a brick red precipitate for the positive results. For the tolerant test, it will be a metallic silver precipitate or silver mirror for the ethanol compound and a gray precipitate for benzaldehyde, while there is no precipitate for the propanol compound. For the shift test, as we can see, a pinkish purple solution will formed for the ethanol and benzaldehyde, and propanol there is no pinkish purple solution formed. And the last test, which is iodoform test, the light yellow will form for the ethanol and propanol, but negative result for benzaldehyde. Next will be your discussion part. Here is some suggestion for discussion for this experiment. We can include for the part A, for 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine test. 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine produced a yellow or either the orange precipitate with all the carbonyl compounds. This is used to test for the presence of the carbonyl functional. For part B, in our discussion, for the failing test, this test is used to differentiate an aliphatic aldehyde from aromatic aldehyde and ketone. The aliphatic aldehydes will give a positive result when reacted with failing solution by forming a brick red precipitate of Cu2O. Here is the equation of the reactions. For the part C of the tolerance reagent test, the formation of metallic silver on the wall of the test tube or a gray precipitate indicates a positive result for the aldehyde. This test is used to differentiate aldehydes from ketones. And here is an equation for this reaction for negative result and the positive result shown below. For part D, which is shift test, this test is actually a very sensitive test for aldehyde. We can observe a pinkish purple solution is produced immediately with the addition of the shift reagent to an aldehyde. This observation differentiates aldehyde from ketone. And for the part E, which is iodoform test, iodoform reagent will react positively with aldehyde and ketone that have the following group. The light yellow precipitate formed is CHI3, which is triiodoethyl methane, or called as iodoform. Here is an equation for this reaction. And the final part is the conclusions. We can obtain three conclusions here. Number 1, 2,4 dinitrophenyl hydrazine is used to differentiate aldehydes and ketones from non-carbonyl compounds. Number 2, suitable tests to differentiate aldehyde from ketone are Fehling's, Tollens, and Schiff's test. And for number 3, the compound X, please state based on your observation. That's all. Thank you, and please do like, subscribe.